Okay, guys, so where do we go from here?
What are you watching on together?
I was thinking about what kind of video I wanted to make next. My last two videos have obviously been, if you want to call it in the negative light, talking about the problems with the game, talking about the issues, what could or should have happened, and what did and didn't happen. And I was kind of just in a contemplative mood. I've just driven and got a coffee, went for a little walk, came back, and I was thinking about like what do I want to do with the channel? What do I want to talk about? I'll be honest with you. I don't want to sit and make a Gears 5 copy channel of kind of what I previously did for the last few years and just moan.
Okay.
I don't think it serves any purpose. I think it was kind of valid at the time to moan about Gears 5 because there was an active dev team. I did talk to the devs. The game was alive. It was lockdown. Everybody was home. Everybody was enjoying themselves. And like, it genuinely felt, rightly or wrongly, that I was making an impact on the game. Maybe I'm delusional, and I made zero impact on the game, but it felt like I was making some form of impact on the game. Now with Gears 1, that's never happening. Even if even if I could dream a scenario where Gears Reloaded is fixed, it's not happening, and I don't have the same connections or honestly same passion to air quotes fix the game. And I just wanted to, I suppose, just spend 5 or 10 minutes just talking openly and candidly with you. Just kind of say like sometimes I'll be honest with you, sometimes I feel like a big idiot. Sometimes I feel like so stupid and delusional and just weird for making videos on this game. Like, I have zero ego. I just, I don't rate myself very highly. Don't really think I've achieved anything in the YouTube scene of any notoriety. And sometimes I wonder, like, why am I even still making videos? Like, there's just no point. At most, I might get 2K views and people tell me that my opinions are nice, but you can tune in the very next day and someone will get 10K views for a drama video or 50K views for like just some random ass shit, or and I don't like to compare myself with the views and whatnot, but it's kind of what's the word, like it's kind of impossible to not do that and think like, what the hell am I doing? I'm just going to be really open and honest with you, so you get to maybe see a side you don't see much. Sometimes I really wonder, like, should I have ever started playing this game? Because this game, rightly or wrongly, has like consumed me in many ways, and in many ways it's been a tremendous waste of time, and in many ways it's been the thing that's really saved me and helped me. And so I'm really glad I got into Gears and YouTube and chatting to people, and also I think it was, I guess he goes and gets, probably the reasons why a lot of things went wrong for me. So it's always a double-edged sword. And yesterday I received some really nice comments, and they were saying like, don't give up, man. We need your voice in the game. And I really do appreciate those comments more than you realise, because sometimes you just have a really shitty day and you just wonder like, why the hell am I even making these videos? Like, what am I doing? I'm sat here with like clips and clips and clips. I'm sat here thinking, do I make a short? Do I make a short video? What would be an amusing short video? Should I make a regular video? Should I make a guide? Should I introduce myself before the clips, because I know people don't like my gameplay? Should I introduce? Maybe I should do a gameplay commentary over my clips. And I'm thinking about all this stuff, and it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I'm just a totally small, irrelevant channel, and I don't know, some days I just feel like I've just failed in every aspect. And then other times I'm super happy and on it, and I'm like, I'm really glad I play this game, and I'm really glad I can be the voice. And I'm really pleased that I can, I can go in a game of Gears and people can, recognize me a little bit and have a chat and say, hey, I like your videos, thanks man. Like that happened to a couple Americans in the lobby. It happens to some older pros, some older people, some random people recognize me. And, even when I hadn't revealed my gamer tag, somebody recognized me from my voice. And I was like, wow, that's so strange, isn't it? It's like a strange feeling. And I don't want to make the channel like a super negative channel about Gears Reloaded. Gears Reloaded is the game, or should I say Gears of War 1, is the game that like I enjoy the most. And the thing I'm like thinking about a lot, and maybe you guys understand where I'm coming from here, is like, this is a game I grew up with, right? And I really, really enjoyed it. And it felt like I played it for 50 years, even though it was like 2 years, and then Gears 2 came out. But it felt like I'd played it for 50 years, because when you're a kid, everything seems longer, and waits seem longer, don't they? A 2-week wait seems like 10 years. When you're my age, a 2-week wait, 2 weeks goes like that. And yeah, I was just thinking, like, it's really a bizarre feeling because this game's dying, and this is probably the last time, I suppose, in my life I'm ever going to play this game with players. It's just a weird feeling, isn't it? It's just a weird feeling that kind of, it's like a chapter closing, and it feels strange. And I suppose it sounds a bit silly because you're just watching an old man talk about a video game, but it's a strange thing to process because it's like, wow, I've played this game basically forever. Even in lockdown we were doing open lobbies, and like basically now, even if it lasts another year by some miracle, when E-Day comes out, this will be the end of Gears 1, and it won't ever be remade again, and it won't ever be like repopularized. And it's like, wow, like, it's like, yeah, like the chapters come full circle. We started as a kid, we made all the videos, I'm probably going to end with some montage that nobody cares about, and then the game's just going to slowly die, and I'm just going to be like, yeah, wow, that was like a good run, wasn't it? That was a really good moment. And sometimes I think, like, I wonder, and I know this sounds really bloody stupid, guys, but just roll with me. Sometimes I think, like, oh, I wonder, like, if I just dropped off the face of the earth, would people still look up, like, my old videos and be like, oh, I remember that guy, he was a decent guy, like, I enjoyed those? Or would, like, it just be gone forever and people would never look at it, and I'd have just wasted such a tremendous amount of time? I don't know. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and I was just like, yeah, I just record the clips and the moments so I can look back on them. They're not really, like, they are for you, but they're also mainly for me, because I don't get money or views on YouTube. I do it so, like, in 5 years' time I can look back and be like, man, I remember when that game relaunched. That was a good fun. And so I don't want my whole channel to be let shit on Reloaded every single video. I don't want to do that. I think I've done my critical videos on the game, and I think I'm just going to leave it. If they patch the game, okay, I might talk about it, but I think that list of 100 things, I've pretty much covered everything that, like, really needed to be done or should be done with the game, and it's really not up to me. There are people with much bigger channels, much more regular content. They could share the video, they could repost, they could react to it, whatever, right? It's not really up to me. And yeah, like, yesterday I recorded some tutorial. I recorded 20 more minutes of clips. Then I've got my clips for the montage. I'm gonna have to learn the editor and remember how to video edit and make a little montage for you guys. Do I choose music that's copyrighted? Do I choose music that's reminiscent from old times? And I have all these little decisions, and, like, there's always that part of your brain where it's like, well, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I threw up 10 minutes of clips on Reloaded. I think it got more views than the last Gears montage that took me 200 hours to edit. It doesn't really matter. And I guess, like, I really do enjoy going on Reloaded and Gears, and just, like, somebody asked me, like, I think it was Flexes asked me, he's like, oh, do you feel safe when you play Gears? Which was an interesting question. I was like, yeah, like it's a chilled game. It reminds me of the childhood, and I do enjoy playing it. And it's a bit of a shame it's dead and the life in it's gone, but it can't last forever. It's a dated old game. I get that, and people don't have the nostalgia and passion that I do. Like sometimes I go into the lobby, and I do feel a bit deflated, and I feel like I shouldn't be playing this game, man. Like, what am I doing? Why am I playing this game? Then there are other times where like I sit in, I lock up, and I do something. Maybe I predict a guy's movement. Maybe I clutch it. Maybe I hit some nice snipes. Maybe I read something as in like, oh, I think this guy might go frag, so I'm going to come behind him, and it works. And you're like, yeah, I'm the fucking man. This is like why I play the game. This is like all the hours I've put into the game led to that kill. It feels really good. And it feels good, to be honest, that I can go into a lobby and feel like I'm going to play well. I don't have that feeling on any other game, and I know that's why a lot of people struggle with games changing. They don't want gears to change because they want to keep that feeling of, man, it feels good to like dominate on the game. I suppose I'm just like going through some thoughts at the moment as like I'm closing chapters. You know, I'm thinking like, here's what I'm thinking video wise. I'm thinking a tutorial on the fundamentals. I'm thinking a couple gameplays. I'm thinking if I ever find any old funny clips, make them into shorts. I'm thinking I've got 20 minutes of clips. That's 2 10-minute videos. And then I'm thinking a montage. So what's that? Tutorial, couple gameplays, couple 10-minute clips, and a montage. So 6 more videos. So maybe you've got me for 6 more videos. You know, that will be, I think, maybe about 40 videos I've made on the game.
Oh, fucked it.
You know, shout out William. He YouTube donated 2 lots of 4 headshots coming in clutch. Taking it to game 4. £2. And I also looked at my old members list, and I've got like 5 or 6 members that are still members. So shout out to you guys. And you know, technically, purchasing Gears of War has been a net negative to my bank account. And making all the videos and spending the time on it has been a humongously big net negative.
Just one of you go boom,
but in the same breath, it gives me a lot of joy. I'm just hoping it's giving you guys some joy. I don't know. You know, sometimes I feel like I say, I feel a bit weird making videos. I feel a bit like I shouldn't be doing this. It feels a bit like kind of wrong. You know, maybe you feel different. Maybe you look forward to my videos.
Just using a toothpaste pick to aim at.
Fucking point and click, man.
Mr. Point and click.
I'm gonna back us out, see Pip, it's on, lad.
Like, sometimes I'm in a really, really positive mood, and I love making the videos, and I love reading the comments, and then sometimes I'll make a video and it'll do well. Like, I think my last video did well, right? The 100 things wrong. But honestly, I was like in bed reading the comments, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I shouldn't have made this video. I should delete my YouTube channel. Like, I honestly don't know what I'm doing. Why am I even playing this game? And then in the same breath, I'm like, nah, I really enjoy the fact that like I'm not saying nobody can do what I do because I'm not big-headed. But I do enjoy, you know, like a comment like this. Please keep making videos, man. I really enjoy them. You are the premier Gears 1 YouTuber, and you actually really cover the game fairly. We definitely need a voice for our cause, and you're the perfect fit. And like, you read a comment like that, and you're like, well, I'm glad I'm providing that guy with content, because it apparently no one else is doing it. Even though I don't think I'm doing anything unique or special or different, like. And so I suppose I'm just a little bit aware. I don't want to keep blasting the channel with like, not negative videos, because I'm totally fine with negative videos, but I don't want to keep reiterating the same point, you know. Yeah, I think I've covered the game quite well. Yes, it would have been great if I was a super famous YouTuber, and when I made a video on the problems it got 500,000 views, but it didn't. It got 2k views, but for my channel, that's great. And the way I look at it is I got the same amount of views throughout the entire duration of the game, when it was popping and when it was not popping, which, if I try to think about it, that kind of means people are tuning in for me, even though that feels weird to say. You know, so that's good. You know, most people would have had a drop in views when really I think I've held the same views throughout, which is nice. But in the same breath, well, I didn't really have a big increase in views, you know. I don't have that viral potential, that big YouTuber potential. And maybe it's because I am kind of calm and reserved somewhat. And sometimes that does play on your mind because you think, yeah, like some people find me interesting, but clearly there's not that, like, that thing. But like, it's just, I don't know, it's just been a weird, I suppose the reason I'm making this video is it's just been a really weird experience, like leaving Gears for 4+ years, coming back, playing a game from your childhood, making content on it, being excited and pleased that you can play the game, but once again disappointed. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I suppose I'm just in a pensive mood. I don't want to be like one of those men that talk about legacy, because that sounds a bit cringe, doesn't it? Like, legacy, bro? What do you mean you've got no subscribers, no views? But I do sometimes think about, like, I wonder if even people were bothered by my videos or impacted by them, or maybe I just wasted my entire time and I should have just, like, I don't know, like, was it worth getting all of the heat over Gears 5? Was it worth getting a stalker that doxed you and even found out medical information? Was it worth that? Maybe it was, because maybe I helped somebody through a difficult period, you know. I've had difficult periods and I've watched YouTubers, and maybe you're having a shitty day at work and you tune into my video and it helps you. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's not ever happened. Maybe that's me wishful thinking. I don't know. But it has been an enjoyable return to the game. I suppose now is like the time where I'm thinking content, you know, what do I want, what's the things I want to do on the game whilst there's still a few players. Well, I feel like I've done everything on the game, you know. So I suppose I just want to post a few random gameplays, and I want to get some odd clips out and then do the montage. And maybe I don't care if anybody views it. It'll just be some shitty shots. I've tried to not do any team deathmatch. It's all execution for what it's worth. Because it's classic. And then I think to myself, well, what's the point? Nobody cares about classic Gears. Nobody's going to care if I get a 2-man snipe in execution as opposed to TDM. But I do, so that's why I'm doing it, for me. I want to look back and be like, that was a really cool execution montage, as opposed to, here was me blind firing some bots, you know, in TDM. And then part of my brain goes, bro, why do you even care? Nobody cares about montages. Nobody cares about Gears of War. What the fuck are you doing, bro? So I suppose, like, it's been a bit of a whirlwind return. And I know some of you may be like, bro, what are you on about? You make a few YouTube videos, get on with it. It's not that deep. Yeah, I agree. I do agree. But I mean, if I look at, say, my analytics of the channel, since the return, we've had about 200,000 views. Don't know how many comments. You know, 200,000 views isn't a lot, but for little old me, it's quite a lot. We've had a ton of comments, and the last video I made was the most views I've had in like the first 2 to 3 days of the video's life. So technically I've made my best video towards the end, which is good, isn't it? I've had loads of comments. you know, loads of feedback. We've had 1.6 million impressions, you know. The average view is 6 minutes, which, if you know anything about YouTube, guys, and I know I do long videos, but the average viewer watching 6 minutes is good, you know. So yeah, who knows, man. I just thought I'd do this video and just take a moment to pause. You know, sometimes like YouTubers, they yap and they yap and they yap, and it's over the top excitement, it's over the top negativity. So I suppose a thank you for sticking with me is due. So thank you for sticking with me, because I know my channel is different. I might just drop off the face of the earth and do walks to the bench. And then I might never post again, you know. I might then just randomly start making PoE. I might randomly get into Call of Duty like I did. Like I have kind of fucking ADHD autism, and I just lock into things. And for this month, I just kind of locked into Gears Reloaded. I don't really know why. It wasn't so much my intention. I wasn't even intended on making videos, but I suppose the bug got me and I started making videos. So yeah, I suppose there's just a lot of thoughts going through my head at the moment, and I'm just sharing them with you. I hope you all have a good day, and I suppose we'll see where we go from here, right?